All right, today we're diving into a really powerful Hindi horror story. This isn't your typical jump scare fest. It's a chilling tale about justice, about sin, and about a payback that isn't delivered by any court, but by the spirit world itself. This one idea, right here, is the key to everything we're about to see. Think about it. Karma doesn't really care about excuses. It just waits. The path it takes might twist and turn, the people involved might even change, but the final destination? Nope. That's set in stone. It's basically a promise that the fire you light for someone else, well, it's eventually going to come back for you. So our story kicks off in the dead of night, at this really desolate cremation ground. We're not talking about the main gods here. This is a place way out there, a place where the line between our world and the next is, let's just say, dangerously thin. And there, in front of a dying funeral pyre, is an Agori sadhu, one of those ascetics who walks that razor's edge between the physical and spiritual worlds. He's deep into this incredibly powerful ritual, chanting mantras, trying to summon and control the spirit of the person who is just cremated. You can just feel the tension in the air as he tries to bend the supernatural to his will. But then, something goes horribly wrong. Right when he thinks he's about to succeed, this sacred fire just, poof, it goes out. A horrible silence just falls over the whole place. And at that exact same second, a single bead from his Rudraksha necklace, a major symbol of his spiritual power, cracks and drops into the ash. The connection? It's been severed. And out of those cold ashes, a figure starts to form. It's the spirit of a woman, but she isn't weak or scared at all. In fact, her gaze has this unbearable authority. The sadhu's little smirk of victory just freezes on his face. He feels like he's been hit by a truck, and he just collapses, out cold. By the time he wakes up, she's vanished. So, the ritual might be over, but for our sadhu, the real terror is only just getting started. Now, this unseen force begins to just take his world apart, piece by insidious piece. And the torment that follows is, well, it's chillingly precise. First, he gets home and finds his ashram has been completely wiped out by a freak storm that, get this, didn't touch a single other house in the village. Then, his sacred fire, the very core of his power, it just won't stay lit. And then, he starts to hear it. The haunting laugh of a child, echoing from the deep woods. And then, the taunting gets personal. As he's scrambling to figure out what's going on, a voice with no body whispers one single, chilling name from the trees. Ashwini. Okay, this is where the confusion really boils over. He's desperate for answers, so he runs back to the cremation ground and checks the name board on that pyre. The name written there is Aprajita. So, if the body belonged to Aprajita, then who in the world is Ashwini? This is the question that just starts to eat him alive. A name without a body, a spirit with no clear identity. The mystery is getting deeper, and you can bet his fear is too. And his terror just skyrockets as his spiritual power, his entire identity, starts to just crumble away. He tries to chant his sacred mantras, the foundation of his whole life, but his mind is just blank. The words are gone. It's almost as if his soul is literally being erased. And now, the story rips us back in time to show us the truth. And it turns out, the sadhu isn't the victim in this story at all. Oh no, he's the villain. So let's meet Ashwini. She was a Kinnar, a respected member of India's third gender community, absolutely beloved for her beautiful voice and her wisdom. And her big message, it was all about tolerance, urging villagers to reject the very kind of superstition that the sadhu's power was built on. You see, Ashwini's message of kindness was a direct threat to the sadhu's influence, which was all based on fear. So what does he do? He calls her a witch. He whips the villagers into a frenzy, and they drag the innocent Ashwini into the forest, chain her up, and on the sadhu's command, they burn her alive. As Ashwini burned, another Kinnar's grief just boiled over into this pure rage. She struck her hands together in that traditional, powerful clap and laid down a terrible curse, screaming that the entire village and all its people would be swallowed whole for what they did. And right here, all the pieces just snap into place. Aprajita, the woman whose body was on the pyre, was also a Kinnar. Her spirit didn't rise to become the sadhu's little servant. It rose to be a vessel, an instrument of cosmic justice, here to avenge the murder of Ashwini.
So, with the past finally revealed, that curse laid down at Ashwini's death starts to come true in the present, and it is terrifying.
The sadhu is at a village wedding, trying to pretend like everything is fine. But then he sees her, the spirit of a kinnar, silently clapping in the middle of the crowd. Just moments later, a massive, horrific explosion tears through the celebration, turning all that joy into ash. The curse has started to claim the village.
Now, just remember this moment, the pure, calculated evil of this act. An innocent person murdered by fire, all because one man was terrified of losing his power.
And now, karma comes to collect. As he's running from the wedding in absolute terror, the spirit of Aparajita appears right in front of him. He just drops to his knees, begging for a mercy that he never, ever showed. The spirit just raises its hand, lifts him into the air, and drags him all the way back to where it all started, the cremation ground. And here we have it, the final, chilling act of justice. The other kin are there, waiting, forming a circle. One of them steps forward, holding a burning piece of wood. The spirit drops the sadhu right onto the spot where Aprajita's body had been. His pleas for forgiveness are just ignored as the fire is set upon him, and his screams now echo Ashwini's in this perfect, terrible symmetry. So a path was literally cleared through the spirit world just to make sure that justice, no matter how brutal, was served. That fire he lit for someone else finally came back to claim him. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Did karma find its destination?